So shy. How are we going to do this interview?
Thank you very much.
That's all he's got time for.
I just come for the claps. Claps. I was a command, but I'm not going to say no.
You got to play a bit hard to get. You can't give him what he wants right away.
No, you have to make him earn it.
That Canadian coldness that we're
That's what it is. Yeah, you're notoriously impolite.
Welcome to Toronto.
Oh my gosh, it's more like welcome back.
Welcome back. So you have a history with the city?
I do. She and I go way back.
If someone says, what's Toronto like? What do you say?
Chicago without teeth.
I heard earlier today, New York with manners.
Oh, very good, that's good.
Yeah.
It's just like, look, I grew up in Chicago, so this is like Chicago with so much less murders.
We're catching up.
I'm here for it. You know what? Hold my beer. Yeah.
Perfect. You have if you commit a crime while you're here, you're on a visa that would allow you safe passage back, or what would happen?
There's an extradition policy. I'll be hauled back in chains. That's been a lot of my time in handcuffs. So. That's not a kink, and I'm not kink shaming. I'm just saying that on the television, I am either riddled with lead or laser beams, or I'm in handcuffs being arrested. This is my lot in life. Yeah.
So they're familiar and they bled into maybe some aspects of your personal life. Who's to say?
Right, we don't know. We don't know. I mean, I know, but I'm not telling you.
Follow him on Instagram for maybe some of that information. Here's the thing I want to front load before we get into this. There is a strike going on, of course.
What?
That's just
Heard about it.
Not to get political, but we support our creatives and our performers.
It's like when you do a thing, you want to be compensated, and then there's the people who didn't do that thing that are getting compensated. They're making multi-millions on a thing they didn't make. That writers and actors and directors and crew people, like it's actually made by these people, but for some reason these people are getting the lion's share of the money. And we're not asking to become millionaires, not allergic to it, but we're not asking to become millionaires, and I am certainly not one. We're just asking to go, hey, would you show us how many times that you that people are watching our show? Because it used to be when there was like 3 channels. It used to be you would do the season, and then there was the summer rerun season. So it was very easy to know when something was being watched again, and they would go, hey, for your time, because you spend the majority of it unemployed, looking for work, here is more money that is to be made off the thing that you made. They're called residuals, and they help tide you over until you can get the next job, or until that TV show comes back for another season, XYZ. But now, because of the interwebs and the streamings, they're hiding how many times the shows are being watched. And so we go, hey, would you let us know if our show's being watched a lot? And they go, no. And we go, why not? And they go, because we don't wanna. And then we go, well, how do we know if you're paying us accurately? And they go, you don't. And so, essentially, this is one of the big reasons that we're striking. Also, I don't want digital robots to replace me. But, whole other conversation.
Yeah. I was just going to say, Todd, great points, but we've got AI now, so thank you for your service.
Oh, I am AI. I'm not actually here. This is a digital double. I am sitting cozy in my bunker because the world is on fire.
Let's do a show of who's optimistic about our chances for success. If you think we're all going to make it through as a planet, let's give one of these. If you're kind of on the fence.
That's what spaceships are for.
One of those, yeah. And if you think it's truly game over by Sunday, give me a thumbs down.
As long as you get your 4-day pass, you get, yeah.
Yeah, what a way to go.
Yeah.
Off this high on
exactly,
Sunday.
Right? I got some toys, I got some photographs, and I had a smile.
And you're in the most beautiful cosplay as you're laid to rest
And then
beneath
the four
asteroid.
horsemen come a galloping in, and we're all going to blazes. Anyway, hi.
It's fine. So the reason I brought that up, and you were a very good sport about that, is just that there are certain things we're not going to talk about, and that doesn't mean we're not going to have a great panel, because you just might, if you're not familiar with the strike, be like, why aren't they talking about X, Y, Z, or X, Y, Z for Canadian friends?
Sure.
And that also means, unfortunately, we cannot do a Q&A today.
Yes, we can.
Well,
We're doing it.
I know.
We're doing it. I will go out there with the mic and I will ask questions.
Oh,
And you will ask questions of me. You guys know how to behave, and there's ways to talk about fun, cool things without naming names. And we can thread needles here. We're grown-ups, right? I mean, there's a grown rabbit right there. And then there's a dog man. Like there's a dragon back there.
Spaceballs.
We've got what you can't talk about that. We're starting.
Oh shoot! Am I canceled now?
No, I think you may have some other questions about life in general and process. We can talk process.
Okay, so here's the deal then, because I'm very protective of my new friend Todd, is that we are going to do this Q&A at his request, but just, be gentle, be thoughtful, don't say the thing. Now listen, it's not Q&A time yet. Are you just stretching your arm?
No.
Okay, you hold tight. That comes at the end, traditionally,
Yep.
the Q&A. So we're gonna start at the beginning. You've been to Toronto before. You are from Chicago.
Illinois.
Two great comedy cities.
Very big. One's the second one, and the other one's the second one.
And don't you dare name an order.
Well, I didn't choose. I'm just saying that one started in Chicago first, but whatever.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Okay, so I know of course, you already being. He's a funny guy, right? Like already. He's a funny guy.
It's a subjective thing.
So tell us a little bit more about, because you do, you play a lot of roles that maybe are not as comedic, or not as overtly comedic.
I
Yes.
think they're all a little comedic, I think.
Well, tell me about that.
I think, look, I'm 6'2". I have dark circles around my eyes and the voice of a garbage truck. So the types of roles that tend to reach towards me are the darker ones. So I don't know why I leaned into that. But so when roles that I'm attracted to and what I naturally kind of like to do is if it's a darker role, I try to find the funny, and if it's a funny role, I try to find the darkness. Like I think those dichotomies always make for an interesting exploration as an actor, I think.
Yeah. You play the opposite. You bring this whole sort of well-rounded character.
And I think, especially because we are filled with mansions, people. I think all of us have a darkness. We all have a bit of funny. And I think it brings an element of, I'm not even going to say realism, because I don't like applying realism to acting, because it isn't realistic. It's not. It's just not. It's an artifice. It is a presentation. There are different degrees of performance intensity or broadness, but it brings a truthfulness. Because all we're looking for when we're viewing characters in whatever medium, whether it's stage or screen, is to sort of see ourselves, to find a way to connect, and go, okay, yeah, you know what, that guy who's, I'm going to use bad words, so plug your ears if you're like and offended. I play a lot of assholes, and
This is Canada. That's not a bad word.
it's on the flag. It's weird. So I play a lot of assholes, but if I could find a way to find a moment of humor in there, you kind of go, okay, I'm still going to go on the journey with this asshole. I'm going to still kind of follow him down because he's at the very least entertaining, right?
And can you tell a bit more about how that comedy training that you had through, I think we can name Second City.
Second City? Yeah, because that's a stage thing.
It's fine. Through Second City, which, beloved, and here in Toronto as well. Are there any skills or tools from that helped prepare you for an acting career, sort of writ large?
None. No, of course. Ultimately, I think, and a buddy of mine said this, so I'm going to credit him. I'm not going to tell his name, so I'm not really crediting him. A buddy of mine, I'm striking him. I'm striking against him. Yeah. I'm on strike against my friend, so I can't say his name. He said acting is improvisation, but sometimes you just happen to be saying what the writer wrote. In that, the principles of improvisation are listening, responding, having heightened thoughts, building off the last thing that the other person did. These are all the things that we are taught. Please have a seat. These are all the things that we are taught at Second City. And so whether I'm doing that without a script or with a script, I'm still practicing the same acts of listening, of responding, of heightening, exploring, because often, as a character, you're not necessarily even responding to the words the other person said. You're responding to the thoughts behind the words, to the moment, to the situation. So my skills as an improviser are always at play, always.
I think that's such a great point because, a lot of folks can go to theater school or develop sort of this great breadth of character, but when someone's not listening, when someone's not present in the moment, that's something, even people who don't, aren't familiar with theater or film or whatever, you sense that right away.
I'm sorry, this miles off. You're saying, no, of course, if it's sort of, I'm kind of biding my time until, you like that one?
I love that.
I'm biding my time until you speak. Then there's no connection. And I, as an actor, want to be surprised by the next moment. I don't want to give the same, I'm not giving line readings. I haven't decided how I'm going to say something. I discover it based on what the other person's doing and saying.
On the way to that, did you specifically, was the plan to stay in comedy? And then did you get kind of waylaid, and how did that happen?
The plan was to be Han Solo.
Same.
Or Peter Venkman. And I've kind of split the difference. Literally, I watch all my work, I go, yep, that's Tom Hanks, yep, that's Bill Murray, I'm just stealing. There's Harrison Ford, I'm just stealing. Harrison Ford and I, born in the same hospital, you decide if there was something in the water. Yeah, we were born in the same hospital in Chicago. The plan originally was, like I said, I was not kidding when I said I wanted to be a Ghostbuster. Like, the plan was, like, I just wanted to do Saturday Night Live and do sitcoms and stuff like that, because I grew up watching Happy Days, and for you kids at home, that was a half-hour sitcom. Watching Happy Days and Mork and Mindy, and then all of those kind of informed me as a kid. And then Saturday Night Live just exploded my little 1970s brain. And growing up watching Belushi and Aykroyd, and then all of their movies, Blues Brothers and Ghostbusters and Stripes and all that. And that's what I wanted to do. So that's why when I finished theater school, I went to Second City. Because I'm like, that's the trajectory. And then I was up for Saturday Night Live in '95. They didn't cast me. But, fascinatingly enough, the other things that I was watching when I was growing up, since 1974, when I got my first Kirk, Spock, and McCoy action figures, and, seeing Han Solo shoot first, because he did.
Strong words.
Those were the things that I was in. I played a lot of D&D, and I still do. And I collected Kenner action figures, still do. And you're seeing a pattern here. Spent my adult life living the childhood of my dreams. But yeah, the goal originally was to do half-hour sitcoms or do sketch comedy, and then eventually have that, bosom buddies, like have that parlay into that. But again, you heard my description of myself. I have resting villain face. Let's face it. I mean, look at that guy. You don't trust him. You trust him to drive the getaway car. and then leave you for dead because he stole the money from you. So he let you do the dirty work and then he cleans it up after. But so the industry started serving up villainous roles to me. One of the first ones was they really were clued in because they're like, we're going to cast you in one of your first parts in LA, but we're going to bury you in demon makeup. And I played a ancient demon on a show about a detective vampire. That was a spin-off of another show. And so
all untitled.
All untitled. And so that kind of led me down the path of doing a lot of sci-fi and horror and stuff like that. And I love it. Like, what I love about horror is you know when it's working. It's like comedy. Like, is it scaring me? Yep, it worked. Is it like comedy? Are you laughing? Yep, it's funny. Success. Like drama, there's some like you walk out and go, I think it was good. Like, so I like the immediacy of comedy and horror and action and all of that. Yeah.
And like you said, because of that, really makes me think it's such universal work because it sort of goes beyond a lot of the time. Maybe it's not gate kept in a certain way. You don't have to have access to a certain kind of.
There's zero gatekeepers in genre.
Yeah.
Just be on the internet. Everybody's welcome.
Right. I hear what you're
and there's
saying.
no strong opinion.
Touche.
No, but what I like, again, I like, I was a kid of Spielberg and Lucas, not literally, but I grew up ingesting that big adventure filmmaking, and so being part of projects that give that feeling to other people, and in myself, I like doing shows that I would be watching as well.
Yeah.
Even if I wasn't on it, I would watch that, yeah.
That's so nice, and I think that we see that a lot at Fan Expo, where you really get a sense of, these aren't people who just got hired as a day gig on whatever show. Like, it's so nice when people are passionate about the work, because the fandom is obviously so passionate.
Yeah.
And there are receipts of this, because I saw a picture of what you call capital N, capital L, your Nerd Lair.
My Nerd Lair.
Yeah. Has anyone
People
seen this?
want it to be a man cave,
No.
but nerds have no gender.
That's what we're standing up for.
Right? Like, all are welcome. All are welcome. Like, that's, like, I have as many ladies and non-binary friends that play D&D in my Nerd Lair as I have dudes. So, the term man cave, if you have one, great. I don't want to begrudge your man cave. I'm just saying mine is a Nerd Lair.
Yeah, sure. It feels a bit like Home Improvement, like Tim the Toolman Taylor's a man cave kind of thing, and I think we've graduated past that to contain multitudes.
If he wants to have that and keep out ladies, that's on him.
It's true, your loss.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a bit more about this Nerd Lair? When did its construction begin? What does it
Construction.
How do we gain access?
How do we gain access?
We're all heading over.
There's no, it's not like there's tickets. What happened was, sort of, I've always been a collector. I collect a lot of like sideshow action figures and toys, and I've been collecting the Kenner action figures again. Mego, I'm a big Mego guy. Since I was a boy, and so I've always loved. They're totems of power, right? Their story is an empathy machine. And they allow us to connect to other people's experiences, unlike our own. And I think that is the key to our salvation as a species, is being able to see ourselves in other. So very long walk back to Nerd Cave, but we'll get there. I've always collected toys, and I've been attending conventions for a very long time and accumulating a lot of wonderful, inspiring toys. Then I just had a place to put them. I put them someplace. And so we moved, after I had finished a show that I shot up here, we moved into a house and we had a back space, sort of a separate building. Some, what's the word? It's a very strange word. Garage. Anyway, so we had a garage that we weren't parking cars in because it's LA, because you never leave your car, so why put it in the garage? So we, I just started kind of putting things on shelves in there, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna have a little corner that reminds me of the basements that I used to play D&D in as a kid. And so it was like, okay, I'm gonna have an easy chair and an old CRT TV and an Atari 2600. Well, that was a seed that planted this great weed that spread all over. And then I was playing D&D in the house, and the pets just do not like it when you are playing Dungeons and Dragons. I have an English bulldog, and he won't leave us alone. And so if there's pizza about, he's losing his mind. And there's always pizza. But no garlic. Nobody, anyone? No? It's a joke to a very select audience.
That hit home with anyone?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Thank you. I just gotta say it. Anyway. And we're back. During the break, we brought up the Nerd Lair. So I started just kind of going, okay, I'm gonna curate this entire garage and turn it into the 70s, 80s basement of my dreams. Because we used to play D&D in wood panel basements with orange shag carpet. You know what I'm talking about.
Was that a plus for orange shag carpet?
It is.
Did we hear it?
You guys know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. And so as it went on, and then I worked with this guy to literally create the Stashwick game table. You can buy it. It literally has my signature on it. And it fitted in the Nerd Lair, and then we started putting all the toys around, and then I'm like, well, now I need a dragon.
Slippery slope, right?
Because duh. And then it just has been an ever-evolving work of art, and it's a bit like, close your eyes, make a wish, count to 3. Come with me, and me. When I open the door and people walk in, and it's just that, it's the chocolate room. Like, they're like, and I have a carpet of the Shire there on the ground, and I have an orange shag carpet, and it is my sanctum sanctorum.
It's so cool. Also, looking at photos, I did see an original, I think, Tron arcade cabinet.
It's not an original, it is the arcade one-up, because of the size.
Cool. Okay.
It's not the full-size one, which would require a lot more maintenance. There's a company called Arcade One-Up that makes smaller scale replicas. They still feel a good size, but I have Star Wars, Tron, Tempest, and Pac-Man.
Do you have a favorite?
I love Tempest. I loved playing Tempest with the dial.
That's an Atari OG, right?
It is. It's classic. Yeah.
That's a good one.
And then from there, the Nerd Lair inspired me to create a company that is reflective of the Nerd Lair, and that's the Nerd Circus. So you can go to the nerdcircus.com, and I sell a bunch of groovy wares and nerdy paraphernalia and D&D stuff and Mai Tai glasses. I co-created a Dungeons and Dragons inspired cocktail book, which is all, and there's a playable one-shot in there, there's short stories, there's a lot of art, and over 100 recipes. Because what I found is that the Venn diagram of people that drink and play Dungeons and Dragons is a perfect circle.
That's a sweet spot. Head over to that store, use promo code Fan Expo Canada for 10.
And it'll be the exact same price it is right now. And actually, the book is currently sold out, but give me a week and there'll be more. I'm getting more. But there's glasses and shirts and dice boxes, and because again, I wanted to give that. I love that late 70s, early 80s vibe of all of this stuff, because that's when I discovered it, and so I just kind of put that out in the world.
I think that's maybe due to certain shows we can't talk about, but that sort of zeitgeist and visual aesthetic is really having a resurgence right now, so this is your time to shine.
Stranger things have happened.
And they will again. This is an improver, my friend.
What?
That's a yes and. Okay, so
We're gonna open up the floor.
we're going to in a moment.
After this,
Hey,
there's a thing.
listen, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret.
Secret.
We had a backup because there's so many things we can't talk about. So we have these generally approved questions
Yeah.
that we can ask.
Those
And
will be interesting.
out of respect for you, I skipped almost all of them because they're great questions. They're very useful. They also include things like, "Have you ever had a pet?" Or like, or just, I don't know where we go from there. So fortunately, this dynamo over here just supplied everything. But what I do want to do is they gave me a great game.
I love game.
I know. I thought you would. So that's why we're going to play
He
this game
hates
very
game.
quickly.
He's like, I'm out.
Yeah.
No.
Everyone's got their own line, right?
Please.
He's done. Hates games. Bye.
Hates.
Well,
Rough.
now that that's sorted, here's a quick game.
I'm glad he left. I'm glad he left. He was bugging me.
Didn't you just feel the atmosphere change?
Yeah, it's
The
just
weather
better.
shut?
Oh my god.
I can breathe
We
again.
can talk about it. What was I saying?
I was saying this game is called This or That. So I'm going to give you, this is rapid fire. This game is about speed. I'm going to give you two options. Your job is to choose between this or that. That's right. Follow your heart.
Easy rules.
You got it. Speak from instinct. Don't get swayed by the crowd.
Because they're very persuasive.
You know these people.
Look at the pressure they're putting on me. Go on.
Thing number one. So this or that. Bad haircut or bad dye job?
Yeah, haircut.
That's the one you want or don't want?
Well,
That's the one you want. That's the one you want. It's
yeah,
fine.
I'd rather have a bad haircut.
You're choosing the
Because you
thing.
can pull it off as punk rock.
It's true. That's true. I feel personally triggered by that question, but it's fine.
That's a haircut, by the way.
This is a haircut.
That's a choice.
I chose a lot of this, not all of it.
Sure.
That's where the choice ended.
He knows.
You know
Oh,
what?
wow.
And we
Twins.
look great.
Oh, you can see it too? Okay, good.
Yeah, fantastic. We should hang out later. Next thing, vacation or staycation?
Vacation. I'm home a lot.
Beautiful. Passenger or driver?
Driver.
Novel or comic book?
Novel, and this is a controversial one. Novel because you create the picture.
Okay, yes.
And I feel more, look, I love comic books. I literally have Batman and Joker tattoos on my person. But if I had given a choice, we're talking desert island stuff here, I'm going to take anything by Tolkien, Gaiman, Conan, Ursula K. Le Guin.
Great answer. Great answer. Zombies or vampires?
Did you say zombies or vampires?
Yeah.
I don't know, vampires are sexier. No one ever said, look at that sexy zombie. Never! And if you did, I don't know if we should hang out. What? What's that?
You
Oh, I
can't-
know which
you
one you're
cannot-
talking about.
Yeah.
Well, no, he's short. Short. You bring up the exception to the rule. Overall, people go, vampires sexy. Overall, people go, zombies cut their heads off.
Yeah, I think generally like zombies not known for their sexiness.
They're not known for it, and so that's why it's remarkable when you bring up the one. Right? I can just, we are lousy with sexy vampires.
The real head turner zombie that you just watch amble past.
Exactly.
For 10 minutes. Stop stalling. Art museum or history museum?
Art museum.
Great.
Because it is a history museum.
My job. Let's wrap it up. Last one, because this feels Canadian and quite personal. Ketchup chips or all dressed chips?
Because I know what that means.
Okay, here's an important element of Canadian culture.
Yep.
Ketchup chips, have you ever eaten them?
Keep going,
I'm
man.
glad
What's
you
a ketchup
have.
chip? Go.
Yeah, a ketchup chip, so it's like, they're red powdered, and it tastes kind of like ketchup, but like a sickly sweet chip. We like them very much.
Okay, you're selling it.
Ketchup chips.
And
You
what's
can find them
the
anywhere.
other one?
The other one is all dressed, which is, oh my god. What, can you read the ingredients on that chip bag, my friend? Maltodextrin, red 6. I think it's like onions.
So it looks like peppers, onions, and vinegar. I'm going all dressed.
It's a full body chip. All dressed. With that said, I encourage you. Oh my God, the sway. COVID is over, people.
I do not want my gum to interfere with the all dressed thing.
I'll distract while you're doing that. We really encourage you to try ketchup chips before you go. You can buy them anywhere.
Well, not ketchup and chips.
And that is the same.
Drum roll, please.
Yeah?
That's a good chip.
What's
I like the
terroir?
vinegar. The vinegar
Vinegar.
puts it over the edge. All right.
You stand by it.
I
All
do.
dressed. Okay,
I do.
great. Well, that's this or that. Round of applause for
We
that.
did that. We did that. We did this. And then I did that. All right. Are we gonna do are these live?
We're gonna do Q&A. You don't need to worry about this stuff. You're the talent.
What?
You don't have to mess around with these. While lovely Todd is doing that, I'm gonna give you. Hang on. I'm gonna give you a few quick rules. There's a switch right at the bottom, Todd. There's a few quick rules for this Q&A. The first one I already told you. I tried to help you. This guy's just dead weight up here. There you go. You're all set.
Check.
Okay, so here are the rules. Here are the rules before we get started. Number 1, just a reminder, SAG-AFTRA strike, so please be very mindful of the questions.
Line up.
Yeah, that was going to be the third thing. Thing number 2, so we'll skip ahead. Please line up if you're able. If you are not able for any reason to come to the mic, we'll come to you, raise your hand. The next thing is a Q&A. The Q is the most important part. It stands for questions. That means the thing you say has to end in a question mark. Otherwise, poor Todd doesn't know what to say back and we're all very confused. So end with a question, please.
I'll just keep shoveling all dressed in my mouth.
I know, you got a one bag there. Otherwise, you can see we already have a lot of people online and not a lot of time. So please keep your question nice and focused and limited to a single question.
It'll be yes or no's. Yes, no.
That's right, we'll play this or that. So without further ado, let's go to our first question.
Have you ever played a practical joke on any of your sets on another cast member?
Yeah, but they were stupid. Like not even entertaining. Like Amanda Schul, who was on a show with me that involved simians and a certain amount of them. We used to hide saltine crackers in each other's personal items, so that she would open up her script and then saltine crackers would fall out. So not clever, stupid, but very practical.
Great question.
If you were going to cosplay, who would you want to be?
Who would I want to be if I was going to cosplay? I think I could pull that off. I'm a big dude. I think I can pull off the yeah.
Great question, thank you so much. Okay.
If you could time travel, where would you want to go?
I would want to go to Coney Island circa the late 1800s. It's a fascinating place, and the guy that created it is George Tillieu, and what I love about him was his sort of American entrepreneurial spirit. Because the place burned down, Steeplechase Park burned down, and the day after the fire, he put up a sign that said, my friends, today I have troubles I did not have yesterday. Tomorrow I may have some that I do not have today. On this spot will be built a bigger, better Steeplechase Park. 10 cents to view the burning remains. Right? Yeah, so Steeplechase Park, I would go to Coney Island at the turn of the century. Just, have popcorn, walk the boardwalk. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Great one.
Hi, so what is your current telephone ringtone?
If that's too personal, you don't have to answer.
It's I wanted to make a joke. It's just like one of the dumb, it sounds like fairies are present. It's like, yeah, it's not at all interesting. I think. You know what? I don't know.
You want to give me your number? I can call you.
Why sure.
Took your shot. Good for you. There you go. Great question. Thank you very much.
Hi. Are you able to sing a couple bars of Don't You Forget About Me?
Yeah, sure. I said la 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 la. That's a couple.
Sport. Come on.
Would it be okay if I ask you about about a script that you read, or would that be not allowed because of the strike?
Please rephrase the question.
Could I ask you about an emotional script that you read and how you felt about it?
An emotional script that I read and how I
Of a
felt.
certain scene when you walked into a fake bar.
Oh yeah, no, okay. I get what we're talking about. One of the pleasures, and I'm a very fortunate person, is that I have been able to work with amazing writers who have plugged into just some really wonderful stuff. And one of those writers I got to work with on 2 different jobs. And so when he told me about the content of what that was going to be, I just felt so fortunate. You know what I mean? I just felt like, what an opportunity to plug into such a legacy that I just used a noun. But what an opportunity it was, and just I felt so fortunate to be able to work for these underpaid writers.
Thank you. Great question.
How did you approach playing a character that you knew the fans would dislike because you were in the way of our legacy characters?
Well, he was right. So I don't care. What I felt was what a treat, what an opportunity to do something provocative, right? Something they hadn't seen before, and so why would I want to do something that would have been repetitive? Or it was fun to breathe a little Gen X life into something.
Great question. And just for time, I think we're going to need to say the next 5 questions we can accept. Otherwise,
Unless they're fast. I'll try to get you fast.
Okay, and
We'll
otherwise,
lightning
please go
round
see
this.
Todd at
We'll lightning round this.
autograph table. Or,
Yeah. That's what the other thing is. If you come down to the autograph table, you can ask me more questions down there, and say hi, and I'll be happy to sell you an autograph. Anyway,
Hello again, sir. I want to be real quick, but before my question, I was bumbling around Etsy. Someone made a figure of you from Playmates from a certain line from a certain show.
Oh, nice.
Since you're a collector, that you'd be
Nice.
interested.
I love it.
I'll zip it to you.
They'd be
when I
happy
get
to
it
send it to me. I'd be happy to receive it.
And my question is, favorite band, favorite album?
Favorite? Well, come on. So, well, first and foremost, top of the line, we'll say Beatles, Sgt. Pepper. Right? And then and a myriad of Zeppelin albums. Then I would also have to say Styx, Grand Illusion.
Yes.
Yeah. So those would be 2 top. Great
Beautiful
question.
question. And what a response over here. We got some Beatles fans in the house. Okay, Joker.
Hey, if you had one comic or graphic novel you would never want to live without, like all-time favorite or just one.
Sandman. Sorry it took me so long to answer. I wish he had said, just for the incongruousness, if he went, riddle me this. And then I'd be like, hang on, you shouldn't, but not. But yeah, Sandman. The entire, the Tyler Nealman and Sandman is my 2 top pieces of literature are Game and Sandman and then Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
Your favorite, your ideal D&D group to play with? You can pick anybody to.
My best friends.
Okay.
Great question.
Yeah.
You mentioned a love of reading novels.
Yep.
You were in an adaptation by Elmore Leonard. Do you have a favorite book by him?
I don't think I've ever read any Elmore Leonard. Actually, just any of his novels. I'm sad to admit. But that's the
If
fact.
you prefer him to play dark characters, you might enjoy it because he writes a lot of dark characters.
Done.
Would you recommend, what's the Elmore Leonard novel that Todd should start with?
Just because the movie adaptation is great, get Shorty.
Done.
There you go.
Thank you. Look at this. You got through 'em.
It's a give and
I'm
take.
very
This is
good
so
at this.
beautiful. And final question.
First off, as a fellow union member, solidarity.
Woo!
You have had the pleasure of being in 4 episodes of a certain New York City-based long-running crime show.
I've done many of them.
Do you have any stories that you can tell about?
I tell you, wear one black Speedo on national television. And, oh, I have one story and I can't tell that one. You know what, I've been very fortunate to work, and those actors are amazing. Vincent, who's here this weekend, he's amazing, and Mariska. Mariska, what's so great about her is she's such a hard nose on the show. She is such a joker in real life. She is a playful, silly, fun person, and I like to jest. I like to joke about. And so it was fun to have a fellow playmate when I worked with her. But and then there's one story that I will not tell.
Great question. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Look at what we did!
We did it!
We did it! And you said we were going to be able to do questions.
I know, I didn't believe in any one of
This
these
guy.
jokers. I'm just kidding. Thank you. This was such a pleasure. And please put your hands together one more time for Todd!
Come on down and see me down at the table, and I'll answer more questions for you there.